Everyone.
That's what we did.
Welcome back to the show. So you woke up in a beautiful day in the village of Londmend after just signing a contract with Salny. He doesn't want an actual contract signed, and Vale wouldn't know how to do it. Well, Vale might actually know how to sign a proper contract and these kind of things. But Melody just sort of tagging along, and I think they both realised, Vale and Gilwyn realised she's coming along whether they like it or not. They might as well get the best of it, right? So, with that, you all kind of get your gear up and you pack up your tents and you get a little bit of brekkie in. Easily, like the guy at the tavern is like, oh, a little bit of scrambled eggs and stuff.
You might have already guessed, by the way, but Melody would like eat everything with her hands, and like very messily. Yeah.
She reminds me of an old 3.5 PRC. The barbarian monk PRC. From the complete whatever book.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Cool.
So, what is the
You might
team?
remember this if you're 30 plus.
Hey!
Hey-oh!
Mimitim's in chat. Mimitim knows what it is. I don't think he's 30 plus, or she.
So, what is your plan for the day? You've got the whole day ahead of you, and it's a lovely day. It's a little cold. It's the kind of thing where, like, maybe in the morning, probably before you properly woke up, there was like frost in the grass and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's not a problem right now.
I think I probably would have latched onto the name Nose Branch, and I'm just dead set on going to find this person.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine we're probably, because there's now more of us, we're probably walking at the moment.
I mean, it's a small town, a small village.
I'm going to lead Galleon along with us, where I'm
Sure.
happy for Sid to ride him if he can't keep up.
I was actually going to ask. I was going to say, all right. So this morning, last night, or in general, we're supposed to be finding some person that's missing part of their face.
Yes, well, me and Gil, Vale looks over like tentatively towards Gil at this point. He doesn't want to bring up the bad things. Me and Gil had a friend, and we are looking into something related to him.
Was he an alchemist? Because I've heard of this a few times. It's not fun when and you can't get the proper cleric on hand in time.
Well, it's a bit more unique case, really. Maybe we'll tell you about him once we've met this other fellow.
Are we going to be traveling with a horse all the time?
Well, I'm not leaving Galleon behind. Would you? Do you want to? Your little Legos?
No, I just don't need my bag. If you know what, why don't you just let me see your sword?
Very well, but there's not much to it. It is just a short sword. Be careful, though. I keep it sharp.
Short is relative. And he takes it from you. Like that morning, he'll take it from you before you guys go leaving, and he like kind of rearranges his backpack and pulls out a whole bunch of stuff and whatnot, and then kind of like looks around the camp for a few minutes, like he can't find something, and eventually he walks over to Gilwyn and he's like, "Hey, can I have a piece of your hair?"
The fandom has started. This is
No,
amazing.
I just need one strand. Ah, there we go. Embodied valiance. There we go. And he walks away. He walks away with it, and he infuses your sword with magic, making it a +1 weapon.
Oh!
How long does that last?
The day.
The day. Yeah, literally, you hold this back. When he hands back to you, you've held a magical item before, Vale, only for very short periods of time, just to be like, this is the power that you should rightfully wield, blah blah blah. So you instantly recognize that there is magic in the blade. Yeah, it's just everything about it is better in every way.
Seems like I made the right choice.
I know,
would look
Gilwyn's
over
hair,
it
the
at that.
follicles on that, amazing.
Melody like looks over, and I don't know if you've noticed, but she's looking over, and again her gaze is sort of drifting over it a bit, in a bit of an odd way, not quite focusing on it. Just like sort of half frowning, half curious.
Watching the entire thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're heading, I assume, to the north of the village to try and find this man, right?
Yes. Is Gil? I presume you're leading ampersand as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you head up. the couple of people around actually start not giving you trouble. Just like, oh, what are you doing? What's going on? Stuff like that. This town makes maple syrup, so a lot of the trees are tapped, and a lot of them are sort of set apart to be, drained and whatnot. I think most of that happens in this kind of early-ish summertime. But honestly, I know fucking nothing, right?
Excuse me, and I'll go over and like grab like a little vial and like literally siphon some into the vial and like I need some as we're going.
Actually, I'm thinking, Soundly, like that's probably the reason you're here. It's like an organic glue, basically, for alchemy, for like not alchemy, artificing. But that's probably the reason why you're here.
And a tasty treat for when you're hungry in the lab.
Exactly. Why not, right? But you go around, and some of the people working the trees and the tapping and sort of checking how things going and maybe carrying around caskets and barrels and things are just like, oh, what are you doing? Melody, don't go back in the forest. What are you doing? What are you doing? Who are these?
Melody goes with these. Interesting ones.
All right, Melody. What are you doing? He kind of like looks to figure out which one of you he's meant to be talking to. Besides
We're
not on
going
Sid.
to go and see a fellow called Nose Branch, I believe.
Oh, usually he'd be around here. I haven't seen him for. You know what, Melody? How long ago did you come back? 2 days ago or something? I haven't seen him since Melody came back, actually. But he's one of those kind of people. Sometimes we just lose him for a few days. I'm not really. I don't know where you'd find him though. He doesn't have a house. He just sort of stays out here.
Any defining features? A limp?
Mask, hood, mask, armor. Got a what Shem's called it? Spear. Yeah. Spear shield type.
Spear? She
Yeah,
says, reaching on the
Yeah, exactly, Melody. Like that one you got from the forest. Yeah, you know who might know where he is? This is it's a little bit of a the herb lady. It's a bit of a crazy job.
A herbalist.
Yeah, no, she's a herb lady. Her name's Olgan. Olgan Wolfsbane. Yeah. She lives like deep in the forest. Deep.
A herb lady.
A herb lady.
A herb
We
lady.
sometimes trade with her simple things for herbs, Likes a little bit of syrup every now and again. You know how it is.
Now, to clarify, she's a lady who deals with herbs. She's not a lady made
No,
of
she's
herbs.
not made of. She's like this lovely old lady.
I'm just
She
asking
kind of comes down to here.
because-
You got a big nose, big old smile, probably no teeth in her dang old mouth. I've not really talked to her.
Is there a road leading to our house, or do we have to find her?
No, you just kind of you go forward that way enough. Yeah, Melody, you should be able to find her. You probably actually
Follow
found
the
her in
trail
forest.
of treats.
Melody
what?
knows forest. Melody can find. Actually, Ollie, would I have?
You wouldn't necessarily recognize the name, but
I
the
know
the
parts.
description you'd be like, oh, they live this
Yeah.
person. Yeah, actually you
Melody
would.
knows forest. Melody knows hut. Melody leads,
Yes, lead the way, Melody.
and she sort of sets off, takes a few steps, looks back, waiting for you to follow.
Melody, give me directions to herb lady.
Yes, Melody leads. Ilwyn Gallagher following.
Yes.
She kind of reminds me of a young boy that we had back where the city I used to live in. Poor kid, he got dropped on his head on a train track when he was young, and well, a little Simwick there. He wasn't very bright, but she kind of reminds me of him. Has that like distant, cute charm.
yes,
Simwick.
I can
Yeah.
see.
Simwick, it's a pretty common gnomish name.
Yeah. I've used Simwick before.
You've used Simwick before?
Yeah, I
It's a
pretend
long
to be.
story.
Do you know how we roleplay a lot? Simwick's
Yeah.
one of the names I use. It's cool.
It's not a girl's name.
So?
So
It's
you-
roleplay, Sid.
So you play a girl named Simwick?
Yeah.
Isn't the whole point to give him experience as a woman? Shouldn't you give it like a name that has like a little bit more?
Well,
Vavavoom.
you know,
Melody is woman.
sometimes it keeps you off guard, you know?
Well, who am I here to judge your role playing?
Sid, it might be a bit harder going in the forest, and I note, you know, you are old.
You're right. We might get lost. You know, I have something that could help us out with that. Why don't you just give me a minute?
No,
Melody
no.
not gets lost.
Melody is
knows.
leading. Don't want to offend Melody by implying she can't lead us. He turns his back to Melody and goes,
Melody knows forest. Melody likes forest. Forest likes Melody. Melody not get lost.
I suppose this could be a lot like playing hide and go seek with little Simwick. Okay. Come on, Melody. We'll find it.
I was
Melody?
going to say, Sid.
At best point, they've toddled off, and you're kind of left standing there with your horses. This forest is dense and brushy. Horses? Yeah, but you'd actually be slowing yourselves down a lot just leading them. You can if you want.
You can't just leave them.
There's loads of people here who would take care of them for you for a little bit.
Fine.
Vale, it's probably best we leave our horses.
If they are not well looked after, I will kill the master.
You're joking, aren't you?
Maybe a little bit,
Yeah.
but I might slap him about. Maybe break a couple of ribs.
All right.
Anyway.
We fight?
No.
No. Perhaps they could stay near the trees, the maple trees. Perhaps some of these workers could watch them. I think a gold coin might do the trick in terms of encouragement.
Yeah. Excuse me. Hi. Yeah, we're just
Hello.
gonna go for a bit.
Flash a gold coin as Gil's talking.
We're just gonna go for a little wander in the forest. Do you mind
Yeah.
if you look after our horses for us?
Yeah, sure. I see no problem with that. And then he kind of like notices Vale's coins, like, oh no, absolutely, sirs. Very much so. Like takes the coin and starts.
Vale takes the hand that's proffered for the coin, places the gold coin in it like that, closes the hand and says, "I want understand."
I'll keep your horses fine, clean, fed, watered, everything that a horse needs. And
Excellent.
starts.
And he slaps him on the shoulder and gives him a grin.
Okay.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
I always love that old pirate trick. I say as we're walking away.
Oh, you have much experience.
Yeah, you know the gold-plated copper coins. It's a great way to get the kilometers jumping.
Well, I did actually use a gold coin this time, but
Wait, you actually gave a commoner a gold coin? I thought you said you were a pirate.
I used to be a pirate. I have turned over a new stone. Huh?
Oh, what religion did you
Not
find?
his skill.
What religion did you find?
Well, it wasn't so much religion as you know, being exiled from a land and the death of a friend and some reflection with a good friend, and I decided a new path.
Friend is dead? Death is natural. Why worry? She looks genuinely
Sometimes-
confused at this.
Sometimes people just gotta go.
Well, Melody, you might understand it if I put it this way. You know, all the animals, death is natural for them, but they still all want to survive and fight for it, yes?
Yes, strong survive, weak die.
Yes.
Or
well,
build. Or build.
our
Tilts
friend,
her head at you.
our friend was very strong, but he made a sacrifice so that others could live.
Wow, this is quite a friend. Was this a time of war, or?
Not
If strong, why die? She sort of seems to have trouble with this concept.
Vale's getting a little bit frustrated now, and he's like,
He died because he was strong. Leave it.
that is a good way to explain it, Gil.
Because of strong. And then she sort of does leave it, but she's sort of mumbling a little bit to herself, a little bit off the sides, and occasionally nodding. And she's actually talking in Sylvan to herself, and you can tell you can't understand her. You can tell her Sylvan is a lot more fluent than her common. It's like you can clearly recognise. You can still hear the occasional time when she says melody in the middle of it, so you can still tell she's talking in the third person.
When she talks to herself, she does so in the third person.
After a little while, this doesn't obviously have to be shown fully fleshed out, but after a little while of like us traveling, Vale's sort of a decent enough analogy to try and explain this. So he goes up. He talks about a mother wolf dying to protect its cubs.
I had an analogy too, but go ahead.
That was it. Mother wolf dying to protect its cubs. Strong
Did
guys.
she get it?
Yeah, Melody would sort of nod at that. She would still be a little bit confused, but she sort of gets what you're trying to say.
Point. Yeah.
All right, you see, Melody, you know how like water is fluid and it has its strengths but its inherent weaknesses, but after you get it beneath 0 degrees Celsius or 32 degrees Fahrenheit, it starts to solidify and become strong and hard like a rock, ice. Well, if you get it even colder and colder, what could happen is it can eventually become more and more brittle and combust. Once it gets to a certain degree of coldness, then it actually becomes, a little more, it loses a little bit of its strength. Not to mention the fact that it's just solid in general gives it other inherent strengths and weaknesses. For instance, if you take a pick and you swing it at water, it doesn't really affect it. But if you take a pick and you swing it at a piece of ice, it shatters all over the place. You see what I'm trying to say with this?
Ice is water, yes.
You know what? I always did like Simwick.
So, you're traveling through the forest. It's daytime. You can actually quite easily travel through the forest. Although, like I said, described before, it is a very dense, overgrown forest. You go through a little bit, like for 10 minutes of parts of the forest that are tamed for the maple industry that's going on. But most of it is, prickly bushes and fallen logs and mushroom patches and all these things that make it quite awkward to travel through. Although Melody is actually showing you quite a decent route.
You would also possibly notice, as Melody is going along, you could swear occasionally you see a branch move out of her way. You're not sure if you're imagining it or if it's really happening because you only ever catch that.
It's kind of like she just walked through that branch.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Exactly. After a couple of hours of walking, you notice something coming towards you. The slowness of it, you all can immediately sense, even in the sort of gloom in this place, because it's daytime, yeah.
Come on, owlbear.
But the light doesn't quite catch in. No, far smaller than the legends you've heard of owlbears. A small wolf, limping actually towards you, sort of dragging its paws, hanging one up, then the other, and sort of very slowly dragging, kind of looking at you as it's trying to get up to you.
Melody immediately goes up to it and sort of starts talking to it, actually in Sylvan again, and seeing what's wrong with it and trying to patch it up a little bit.
Why don't you give me a medicine roll? It's a lovely roll, and immediately you notice something is not right. This wolf, even before you got fully up close to it, you realize is not well, is very, very sick. No, it's dead. Those are dead eyes. There's no beat, and it's sort of as you notice that, Melody, make me a dex save. It bursts into spiders. spiders
Just
pouring
regular
out of
death.
the inside as if it was a sack. Like the hide was just being piloted by this swarm of spiders. And when you notice that, you almost actually hear a little bit of cackling in the wind and the skittering of more spiders moving.
Sink.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to, in a few seconds, roll me
Hells,
initiative.
yeah, we are.
I
I'm
need to find where
excited
you
to
are.
see what our new companions can do.
Well, I built a tent with my pants.
Yeah, I mean,
He
that
erects
was
his
pretty
tent.
He
impressive.
erected a tent.
Oh.
Oh.
I see what you did there. I did.
Did you now? That's really
So,
good,
as this
guys.
starting off, the first swarm of spiders is actually going to be get a little bit of a surprise attack on Melody, but other than that, it'll be just initiative. So you guys should be able to roll initiatives.
I can't see the map. I can't.
You can't?
Zoom out. Zoom out.
Zoom
I
out.
can
Well, you're actually at
I
the
can
bottom
see
of it.
the map.
No,
I
no, no,
can't
no.
see any. Oh yeah, I can see turn order now. Okay.
You have not given me my
Oh, does this
sight
version of
bad.
Sally not have sight?
I
yeah,
rolled so
sorry.
bad then.
Remind me to update that at the end.
There you go. I'm good.
Look,
Which one of these do you use? What do you mean? What's up? Dean.
What are you talking to?
Oh, I just said, look, I actually clicked my symbol first.
Oh, you
I
have it
clicked
on
my
my
token
end.
first. Woohoo.
Except you're not on.
Oh,
the
you're
same
not on
turn
my
order as
end.
Me and Vale.
Yeah,
I was on
There's
it.
2 melodies for me.
Yeah, there's 2 melodies.
Yeah,
just for
let's
us.
just. I'll just delete the other one. It's just, it's teething
No,
process.
I am on it. I'm on it.
Not on my. You are now. I put you in.
Jesus Christ, Gilwin.
Experiencing technical difficulty.
Oh,
Gilwin,
combat.
Gallo
Combat
Gear,
sucks.
bane of exploding wolf puppies. Gilwin,
Yeah, that was pretty
Gallo
grim.
Oh yes. All right, they are going to get a attack off on Melody first because it's horrifying,
At
and
the
then
moment, she
Gilwin's
only
going
has
to
13
charge into
AC.
action. 13 AC. Okay.
Yeah, at the moment.
Attack on Melody.
AC bros.
Wolf puppies. Do. They absolutely hit. You kind of go to guard. We were sort of so in the idea of protecting them, of helping them. You kind of let your guard down completely. You go to protect yourself, but way too late as these spiders start biting and chewing at you. And they altogether deal 8 piercing damage to you. Then
Oh.
we go right onto the turn order of Gilwin Gallagher.
So it's essentially just like a literal swarm of spiders.
Yeah, and there's more swarms coming down from the trees. But yes, literally, it's like a swarm of spiders all moving together, but not entirely, like a murmuration of starlings, almost.
So D&D wise, it counts as a single.
It counts as
operation,
one
it's a swarm.
creature D&D
Yeah,
wise, with a couple of rules. But yes,
And there's those red dots.
those are just
Sure.
so making it easier to see because they don't have actual tokens like other things.
Okay.
That's
so
for
those are the-
your ease.
All right.
How big are the spiders? These are regular. Well, they're like large regular spiders.
Okay.
Like tarantula size ish.
Yeah, but you know that kind of thing.
Big
So-
enough to make
breeze.
Ollie scream.
Yeah, big enough to make me scream. Like the spider I have in my bathroom right now, actually. He's a large
I'm gonna
lad. I let
cast-
him live.
Wait, no, let me redo that for Oliver. Like the spider I have in one of my bathrooms at the moment. I have to get Jeffrey to take it out.
I'm gonna cast Shatter here.
There. Is that going to hit both of them?
10-foot radius.
Oh, that's 20-foot diameter. 30 feet across, but I can hit these two no problem.
Instead of a concentrated mass of spiders, Shatter rings out, causing the entire area to become entirely covered with the spider.
The
horde.
spiders explode into a wall of spiders. So I would hit the first two, right? Can you do the spell card for Shatter, please, sir?
Yeah. I just need to change it from output attack to spell card, right?
Yeah. Always have everything on spell cards. It's way easier.
I'm so glad I don't have to deal with none of the spell card business.
It's really easy, but you just need to like learn it's a little bit of its stuff. Come on, my
I
lad.
want to do it.
What have you done wrong?
I've changed it to spell card and I'm clicking it.
You've got it open. You need to close it.
I was doing that anyway.
You need to close your character sheet. Look at the thing. It's got an input caster level.
Close my character sheet.
Let
Really?
me do it for you. Shatter caster level 2.
Let me hold you for you.
Let me hold your dick. It basically was asking you how did you want to cast it, but you had your character sheet up over that box that showed up separately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's never happened before.
yeah.
Okay.
Lots of new stuff's going on Roll20. I think that's like actually included now. I don't know. It's a thing.
So on a failed Constitution saving throw, it takes 3d8.
All right,
thunder
Constitution. That's the stuff I needed. So it was the 2 on the left that got hit by this, right?
damage. Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, actually, both of them pass. They still take half damage.
Whoops. Go away.
Now have you got
Oh,
a
this
bunch
is-
of boxes
Yeah, yeah.
because you were clicking it
Okay,
so often.
okay.
Gonna break your mouse?
I think they still take. Yeah, they still take half damage.
7.
7 damage. I mean, that's one of those things where the noise comes out. How do you cast this spell, Gilwin?
I think it's probably because it's shatter. I would probably fire like a chord, just hit a chord, and it's more like a concentrated beam that then explodes.
Yeah, it makes this discordant noise that you can see like the spiders like not like any of them are really dying or anything, but they're starting to freak the fuck out. To put it simply, Vale. Unless you want to move, Gilwin.
No, actually, I'll stay where I am.
All right, Vale.
Right.
Call for Vale.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ta-da!
Oh.
Oh. My armor class is actually 18 at the moment because I'm wielding. Whatchamacallit. Right. I am going to swing with the short sword, which is actually +1 at the moment. Let me
Woohoo!
make sure that I've added that. I have now. I'm going to go ahead and swing with the short sword.
Yeah.
17 to
Yeah,
hit.
yeah, easy hit. I mean, these things aren't armored or anything.
And I'm now a swashbuckler rogue, everyone. So due to my rakish
And that's got
audacity,
one. Do you add the extra +1 or not?
I have
For
added the extra
Damage,
+1
he has the
damage.
+1 added. Yep.
Yeah. So that deals 17 damage on the first, and then I.
No,
twist-
that's a kill.
Hey.
You go over and you can describe how you would destroy a scattering swarm of spiders that are coming down from the trees.
I walk over with my short sword, and I jab each one by one.
In
That's
6
all you're getting on
seconds.
that one.
Okay,
Not awesome.
that's fair. All right, Melody, do you want to be awesome?
It's like shake weighting the short sword.
Melody.
Ah! It's so magical. It's got so much power.
Go, Melody.
So Melody actually being caught a bit by surprise and seeing how easily Vale took down that one, she just, again, she says a word to activate Primal Savagery. A word that, by the way, I should mention, is not in Sylvan. It is a language that is completely unfamiliar to you.
Say melody, right?
Yeah. What?
So,
No,
melody.
she doesn't say her own name to
She
turn
doesn't
into
say
a beast.
her name, no.
Beast boy.
And then she
Beast girl.
this time it's her nails that elongate. She takes a swing at these things, and probably fails.
It's a horrendous miss. You're kind of like scratching at yourself as you're trying to get them off you, because that swarm is more or less on you. It is going horribly, and they're going to bite you. Sorry. Soz babes. Your first combat with Melody is not all that you hoped it
I'm
would
gonna
be.
die.
Sorry.
I could have got my bonus action in. Hit him. But Ollie cucked me.
Well, you need to actually tell me if I do that, you idiot.
Well, you'd already moved on. So.
So, yeah, they are attacking. A mixture of you sort of Melody sort of clawing at herself a little bit, and the spiders is biting away at you, dealing 10 damage altogether.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're rolling really well. Maybe because
Of
they're a
course,
swarm
that's
of
what always
spiders.
happens to my characters. The enemies roll really well against them.
It's okay. It's okay. We got your back. Melody won't
No,
fall
they
today. I
would
like
be
Simba
like
too
up
much.
here. Okay, so they end up right there, right between Gilwyn and Salny, but they can't do anything else. Speaking with Salny, this old gnomish bastard, what's he gonna whip out into combat?
Well, we don't have the archetypes done being built for this class, so I have no idea what my archetype abilities are. So he's just kind of like, oh, this is not what I would expected to happen here.
You
I
got
think
one
I'm just gonna
job.
hang-
That was
I
kind
think
of
I'm just
many
gonna-
jobs.
I think I'm just gonna hang back for a minute and we'll reassess after this is over. And he's literally going to hang back. He'll move backwards and I suppose take the dodge action.
Okay, cool.
I noticed this, and I'm not very happy.
Do you want to? Are you disengaging or are you just dodging action? That makes sense.
Well, I'm not in melee, am I?
With the
Yeah.
swarm, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh, there's one of them moved up next to me. Yeah. So I guess it's a disengage and move backwards. 25 feet.
So instead you go, ah! And run.
No. He's just kind of like, oh, this is what
Gilwyn,
I was prepared for. Right
You
today.
saw Salny sort of like retreating away from these things.
He just looks at Gil and just goes, nope. And then turns around and walks off.
Kind of maybe was planning for that being ready for the day, Scott, but that's okay.
Hey,
I'm just gonna cry,
Hey,
punish you. Gilwyn.
I've done 98% of the work so far.
I asked if you wanted me to do it, and you made jokes.
I like non-combat classes.
No, yeah, it would still be
We
non-combatant.
need more of those paladins that are all diplomacy based.
Anyway,
So, firstly, I'm going to just waggle my rapier into the swarm.
Like whisk,
Yeah, whisk
like
the swarm.
scrambling an egg.
yeah, absolutely.
Come on.
You know, weirdly enough, it's not that effective.
It is. You hit a lot of them, but you just knock them out the way.
You
Oh,
killed
right.
a full 10 of them. It's just there's 200 of them.
You know what, Gilwyn, we're gonna have to take care of that for you too.
And for my bonus action, I'm going to cast Healing Word on Melody.
Lovely.
Taste my healing melody.
Oh god, no.
Ah.
And my Healing Word is simply Melody?
Oh
Oh, you can't bully the poor lass about stuff like that.
Sassy healing word.
Alright. Vale.
Right. 1, 2. Again. The short sword. I swing.
Show us
I
a hit.
swing better.
Mm.
And again, I believe I can sneak attack.
Oh shit, I'm on
Yep,
advantage.
I can.
My bad.
Right. So damage of the short sword. Oh boy. Damage of the sneak attack. Oh boy.
Yeah, again, you just destroy this whole mess because swashbuckler. Actually, no, you don't get the sneak attack because Melody's there.
Now I do.
Oh no, it's because it's not connected to you. Yeah, okay.
I
I still need to learn how swashbuckler fucking works. Yeah.
I will then 3, 4, 5, 6. Be royally cucked. Then I will take my dash action
Nice.
to.
Cool. Melody. You were having some trouble, and then Vale went and sort of was like, whenever hitting you with the blade, and all the spiders like fall off like.
Yeah. She doesn't even really respond to this, like it's just natural, and then turns around and is moving towards this swarm. At the same time, she's pulling her spear off her back, and that would technically be a bonus action, wouldn't it? No.
No, it's
Means I
like a
can't
free
press.
action to interact with one thing, and then a bonus
Okay.
action to interact with the other thing. It's a whole mess.
Okay, so as
I don't
she's
give a fuck
going,
about.
you hear her saying something in this strange language again, And
What the hell is that?
Everything right except.
How did you
the name.
break the name?
I don't know how I broke the name.
Anyway, it's Shillelagh.
Shillelagh. And you see the spear actually like glow green with her magic, and like there's actually like a flower like bursts out of like a little bit of a twig that's coming off it.
It blooms.
Like it blooms off like a little twig that's coming off it, and then she just frigging stabs the spear into thingy.
Now that's a hit.
Yeah.
That's why I said this character should have Shillelagh. Because Shillelagh is a huge damage modifier.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful hit. Not a kill. I mean, it was a kill of many spiders. Probably like stab in, and there's almost like a rupturing of the nature magic that goes around. But it's not enough to stop them, because the spiders, they want a taste of Gilwyn Gallagher, the bane of the bearded bastards.
Everyone wants a taste.
I mean, at least 2 people want a taste. Fact. Almost did that wrong.
I think the phrase is another taste.
You can only have 1 taste. Otherwise, we go
That's
to
what
madness.
you say.
I'm a
And
rich blood.
Gilwyn, it's a mixture of. It's kind of like Vale is like, watch out! They're going. Like you manage to dodge out of the way of any of them. Squish a couple behind under your boot, kind of maybe less than gracefully, jumping away from them. But none of them are going to manage to hit you. Sowney, are you doing anything, or are you like, I haven't finished my class yet, so I'm going to hide behind the turn order? I just noticed that. Hello.
Yep. They're like, oh, I see where we can improve on this situation right here. Okay, I know what to do next time.
You have weapons.
Yes, I have 1d4 damage weapons.
You have a crossbow.
Okay, I could shoot a
You would
ranged
shoot
weapon
Melody.
into melee.
Yeah, you would shoot Melody in
without
the
a
head.
very big modifier. That sounds great. I think the party would love the gnome shooting
It's
them in the
better
ass.
than nothing, Scott. I'm just
Nope.
saying.
Disagree.
No, I actually would love that, simply because I want you to hit, and I want to hear you describe to me, how do you kill this spider swarm with a single crossbow bolt?
Yeah, I'm not saying for
Like,
now. I'm just
Such a way that it
saying.
skewers every single spider.
Gilwyn,
I will whisk once more.
give him a little whisk, and you're on Bake Off.
Yeah. There you go. Shit.
That is absolutely a hit.
Oh.
They're
okay.
spiders. They are regular spiders of large size working together for dark reasonings. They survive. The whatever spiders are alive are pissed, to say the least.
Give
They've
inspiration
got, like,
to
the lanky
Vale.
eyebrows on. They're like the cute smiling ones.
You don't
Now
need
they've got the lanky
inspiration.
eyebrows on.
Vale,
Hey, guess what I'm gonna do?
Advantage attack.
you got advantage because you're flanking. Yeah.
Choo!
Do you really think he needs inspiration, Scott? Do you really?
If he misses this, you're going to look silly now.
It's a hit, luckily.
It is indeed a hit.
And you finish off the last of the spider swarms before they really manage to get up on Gilwyn. And the forest falls silent once again. Although, you swear you can hear this clickering, clackering in the background. As if things are not all safe.
Oh,
Melody like goes across to where the wolf was and just sort of shakes her head and looks visibly displeased. It's like unnatural.
There's still like a couple of spiders like.
And she
skipping
like
out of it.
stabs a spear into the spiders. Unnatural, strange creatures.
Oh.
are there any more of those alive? Hold on, let me scoop a couple of them up.
You could definitely like. Absolutely.
And then
Well,
once she's done that, she actually just you see her just put her hands on like her face, and the green glow of magic come up again as she says something, and that's not even working.
That's not even working.
Broken completely.
You've Ian'd it.
Well, to
why
be fair,
can't
no,
you
we
set
set
to
these
attack?
spells up
Sorry.
and then roll 20 updated, so spells are different now. But
Sorry,
not
that was set to
entirely.
attack. I think that's why that did that. Yeah, there you go. That's working fine.
And
It's
you're
just
fine.
it's
You're like,
yeah.
Wow, thanks.
the sort of
Nice.
swelled up bumps of spider bites are just sort of like gone.
And then she turns back to the others like, Forest, this strange. Forest ill? Something wrong.
Well, I tell you what's not wrong. This sword, Salny. Excellent. He wipes it off on his half cloak.
I noticed
and then
it did all the
sheaths it.
work out here.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was-
Performance report.
Yeah, I know. Look at this thing. I should do a performance report on that sword. Apparently, it was exactly what we needed in this combat. You literally killed. I would judge 82% of the spiders all by yourself. We're gonna have to work on getting a couple more of these for everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. And how many did you kill?
15% of 82% of all the spiders.
Oh!
I think I counted 1,342. There we go. That's how many I killed.
That's funny. Respect, Salny. My anger at Scott has waned because of that joke.
You see, Salny. We didn't bring him for a active combat role. We brought him for looking after my equipment, making sure that I can do my job well.
Yeah.
Are you not very familiar with the Gnomish lands?
No, Gnomish lands. Yeah, Gnomish lands, huh? Huh?
I don't get the joke, but so there are those that are trained well in combat and they act as guards and what you would see like in other lands, but that's not our primary form of defense in our cities, especially against the pirates. We actually construct and build these large mechanisms that do this work for us. We make metalled guards. That way we don't have to risk the lives of the actual citizens of the nation.
Metal guards.
Yes.
Oh no, let's.
And he like reaches down and picks up. He reaches down and picks up the cat-looking creature, and he like pets it, like strokes it a couple
Cat
times. He's
probably
like,
has a spider in its mouth.
Melody goes across and like pokes at it a few times, like confused.
He has viciously licked a spider to death.
I mean, its tongue is like hard leather and stuff. It could.
It's abrasive. It's abrasive, bitch.
Imagine this, but far less graceful and much, much larger.
Unnatural. Strange.
Yeah, exactly.
More to the
Yes.
point, we should spend less time sitting here chatting after we've just been attacked by a few groups of these spider swarms, and perhaps find out why they are in the forest.
Yes. Melody leads. Follow. Be close.
Let's not creep up to any more friendly critters that look ill.
Wait,
You know,
Yes.
I actually
Yes.
have a little bit of a suggestion here. I mean, since you seem to be the most effective one amongst all of us, Vale, with the magic sword and all, perhaps you should be the one that, as Melody leads, kind of scouts ahead. That is something that you guys do out in these lands as well, right? You have designated scouts?
Forest
Vale
is
turns,
dangerous.
and he goes, eh?
Here, let me see your cloak. I'll make this happen.
Very well.
Everyone be quiet a second. Can I do a perception check on that sound that you talked about, Ollie?
Yes, absolutely.
My character did not hear it.
His own head. You can hear spiders, but the thing is that, like, spiders don't make much of a noise unless you're really listening to them, but you can hear the noise of large spiders. Giant spiders. Spiders bigger than should be by reckoning of that noise. Not around you immediately, but just sort of like in the forest. Before you. The way Melody's leading, honestly, like further north.
I think there are giant-sized versions of these guys. So just watch yourselves.
Oh,
That's
must
a little
kill.
concerning.
Heal forest.
yes, but let us be careful, Melody. You saw what those
Yes.
little ones did to you.
Back in
no
the
going-
Gnomish lands, when a crop has gone bad, we usually just burn it down to make sure we eliminate the blight, and then we can kind of clean out and turn the soil and grow new crop. Perhaps this forest needs to be cleaned.
We
when he says that, Melody actually thrusts a spear like towards his neck. No hurt forest.
Apparently, the forest is diseased, right?
No
Sid,
hurt forest.
Sid, listen to me. Please. Shush.
Either way, let me look at this cloak. And he sits down and he starts like going through his things and whatnot. And he's like, "Oh, Vale, come here.
Sid, we don't really have time for this.
Oh, we have time for all sorts of things. You have loads of time, especially when you're." And he like plucks a hair out of your head.
Ow! Why
An elf.
did you do that?
I prefer cat hair, but and he gestures towards the robot, and he's like, "Elven hair is good enough." And he like throws it into the mix that he's doing, and this like salve he's writing wiping across the book.
At this point, Melody sort of would stand away and just be like looking out and listening to the thing approaching.
Oh yeah.
Feel free to give me a perception roll if you wish.
Please.
Mrs. Melody.
Melody.
Nice.
You can hear, and it's kind of what Gilwyn heard, but with a little more accuracy. That's in further forward, there is more spiders, large, unnatural spiders, sort of pacing, patrolling in the trees and the canopies. Exactly the way you want to go. This little route that you're leading. The little pathways of well travel in this forest.
Yeah. She just frowns and she starts whispering to herself in Sylvan again, occasionally nodding.
Okay.
Eventually finishing with the cloak, I kind of like, all right, try this on. When you put it on, one of the things that you notice is much like how mine is reacting with the green screen, it's translucent.
Yeah.
You can kind of see through you.
Uh-huh.
And it's actually going to give you advantage on all stealth checks to be seen.
Sweet.
Yeah, and all of you can tell this too, but there's something about being in that cloak that it feels satisfying,
Sid, are these?
Melody would go up and like run a hand over it, even if Vale's got it on. She's just like
Stroking me.
Yeah,
Sid, are these,
basically, that's what it looks like.
Are these permanent?
Oh, I wish. I have to keep working on them to keep them maintained. I don't have my equipment. I lost it on the wagon.
So you could keep reapplying this to the same.
Oh yeah, of course. But again, I can't make it permanent. I lost all my supplies. Perhaps one day if we make our way back to the Gnomish lands.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, perhaps I will scout ahead in this
It'd be a
case.
shame to waste that.
Indeed.
Not go too far. Forest easy to get lost in.
I'll stay within shouting range.
All right, give me a
Shouting
stealth roll with
techniques.
advantage. Fail. To do a little scout.
Little
Okay,
scout.
let me just roll some things for no reason.
It's a sexy
at
roll.
all.
Jesus Christ,
For
it's a
no
sexy
reason
roll.
at all, anything at all.
And enough performance checks like that, and the gods start to notice. You know what I mean? Like, DC 25 is a good one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean these spiders are on high alert, but you see them. This is like a pathway, right? I will show you what you see.
give me the deets.
It will give you the sight beyond sight.
Give me the skinny.
Wow.
In Vale, you can sneak further up, and you can see these giant spider patrolling. And it took you a little bit of time. You're moving very slowly to see this thing, and you kind of is that a branch of a tree moving? No, that's a spider's leg, sort of just readjusting. This thing is huge, and there's other spiders that are huge, but not as huge. There's at least one in this little group. And you can actually kind of hear and spend some time here because they do not detect you. They are actively, the big one is actively searching. You can see its head sort of peering down from the canopy of trees, watching. You can hear other things. And you also hear, give me a perception roll. Mr. Vale. Eravale Valanir. Bane of the Bearded Bastards.
Hey.
You can hear off in the distance the sound of a cottage and bubbling cauldron and a little bit of muttering to someone, and then the sound of more spiders around it. This cottage that was described to you is not surrounded by spiders, but has these things in front of it. Whatever. The woman inside doesn't seem to mind.
I see.
So, what is your plan? What are you doing?
I love the fact that you got a 25 and then you just rolled a natty 20 to get another fucking 25 right behind it.
Yeah,
A,
he's very lucky.
um,
He's very lucky. I'll tell you that about Neil.
I think Vale will. I am very lucky. Luckily.
You like that joke, do you? Good. I'm sure chat found it very funny. What are you doing, Vale?
I think Vale would head back, report those positions, report what he noticed about the cottage. In terms of, it seems like these spiders.
In fact, for the actual natural 20 perception, I'm going to show you the cottage situation that you see.
Oh yeah.
And actually, that seems totally reasonable. Just give me a moment to reveal areas.
I am waiting for you to reveal yourself.
I'm revealing my areas. So you managed to sort of sneak past even more, keeping to the side of trees and things. And
Oh boy.
yeah, there's the cottage. And this thing in front, sort of cloak thing,
Yeah.
it's standing on two legs, but its face looks spidery, and it's sort of weaving webs, and I've not shown it here, but the entire sort of this little stony plateau is coated in a thin layer of webs. Not enough to dispose any difficulty moving, but it is creepy
Cottage
as
is there,
fuck.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the cottage.
Okay.
That shadow in the dark.
Shadow.
Wow. Excellent. Right. Well, it's really tempting to draw a map. Just draw little crosses where everything is. Right, I will go and report the relative positions to the others. Say how the first thing we will have to face is what seems to be an extremely large spider with another large spider. Again, probably the size of a large dog. After that, it would appear that the cottage is about a couple of 100 feet around the corner, at which point there are a few more spiders. And it seemed to be some form of... Well, I've never seen its likes before. It stood on two legs, yet had, well, some form of spidery feature for a face.
Vale, feel free to do a nature roll for this. If anyone else wants to do a nature roll, you'd have to be doing it with disadvantage because it would be description only, right?
I'm doing a nature roll!
I'll see if I've heard of it.
Hey!
I'll do a nature roll because why not?
That's a good +4 nature.
Oops, that was sorry.
It's a good +0 nature.
You
That
all
would have
got
been
really
useful.
well.
Except I forgot to
you
do
and
the
Sally didn't do
disadvantage,
disadvantage, you naughty boys.
Where's my flipping option to turn?
Oh,
that?
you should have it. It should be at the top.
Wait,
Yeah,
are you
no,
a
it's
druid with disadvantage
query.
on nature?
Because
No,
you're
no,
going
it's-
off
it's just-
description.
Yeah, it's just.
No, I just have it.
You
Set,
can't
I always
see
have
it.
it set to query.
Oh, change that off.
and I like having it query.
I
It
mean, if
makes
you
it-
want it, you can. I guess I won't
I
stop
just
you.
didn't. I hadn't set it up for.
So, Sally, give me a roll with disadvantage.
Wow, that was lucky.
There we go. And nothing horrible happens because you rolled a 1, but that's what you get for cheating. In fact, Vale and Melody
I wasn't
Melody can
listening.
easily start talking about how she knows what this is. This is actually an ettercap. It is basically a sort of humanoid spider monster. Basically like a spider-human hybrid, but not that far. They're sort of bloated, spidery things. They kind of make little nests and capture fairies. Actually, they eat fairies is their main thing. But they eat other things too, and you know, considering you're being attacked by sort of sentient swarms of spiders, it's not entirely surprising that an ettercap would be riling them up. They're not dumb, but they're not a sentient race, but they're keen enough and wise enough to beguile other spiders into doing their bidding.
Melody would say that in a lot fewer words and probably take a couple of attempts to get you to understand it.
And Vale's understanding of this would be out of like fairy tales and stories that other knights have told
So yeah,
fighting these
it
things.
would probably be more Melody sort of saying things, and Vale actually putting together what she's saying, piecing it together.
So, I'm going to give you time to plan this while we go on our break for our last hour.
It's like when a child does their child ramblings and the parent has to translate for like
Yes.
everybody. You know what I'm talking about? Like a little kid's just like, I could get the mom, the dad, mom, dad. And you're like, oh, she's saying thank you very much for
Yeah,
the candy and she wants to give you a hug. You're
All
like,
right. We will translate after a break. See you for the last hour of the grave situation, week 1. Woo! Woo!